Guess I got the recording bot, so
Okay. We can just use the recording bot then. So you think the laws of logic are objective?
yeah, I think the laws of logic are objective.
Okay. Are you aware that logic is classified as a language?
Yeah,
Okay. Do you think that logic is mind dependent?
I think logic is mind dependent. No,
Yeah.
I think when you say the word when you say the logic, it basically describes something in reality.
Okay. Do you want? Okay. So you think the laws of logic are objective, but you think it's a description of reality. Do you understand that you need minds to describe things?
Minds to describe things. Sure, but the thing being described is
Okay.
mind independent.
So if logic is a way of describing something, okay. Wait, wait. It's describing something that's mind independent. Could you ever prove that?
Yeah, when you
Yeah, sure. Could you prove that logic describes things that are not mind dependent?
yeah, I think therefore I am. Me being myself.
What?
It describes when you say the
How does
law of
that describe
identity.
something outside of? How does that describe something outside of like? What?
What do you mean what?
How? Okay. Repeat what you just said.
Yeah, I said I think, therefore I am,
Yeah,
right?
I don't. That
That's
doesn't prove your
basically
argument.
saying that I am myself, right? And that affirms the law of identity.
Okay.
So
So, do
the
you
law of
think that the law?
identity
Wait. Do you
describes,
think that if you prove the? Okay. So I'll just say this. Do you think that if you prove like something about one thing, that it will apply to everything?
um,
So, like, let's say I see a red car, right? And I'm like, that's a red car. And then I'm like, all cars are red. Doesn't prove the law of identity. The same way that me saying, oh, that's a red car, doesn't prove that all cars are red. Can you prove that
yeah,
the law of
so
identity applies to everything and that it's mind independent? Ignoring the fact that you just classified logic as a description and it's a mind dependent thing, already making it subjective, you already lost. But
no, no,
you literally agreed it's a description. In order to describe something, you need a mind. If it's dependent on a mind, by definition, it is subjective. You already lost.
no, no, no. So
Yes.
the description is mind dependent, but what is being described isn't mind dependent. And
What?
basically,
Wait. So if
you asked me to
logic is a
show.
wait. So if logic is a
Hold on,
description,
hold
but
on, hold
but you
on,
under, but
hold on,
wait. You
hold
just
on.
said the
You
description
asked
is
me to
mind
show that the
dependent, and you
laws of logic.
classified description as
Hold on,
you classified
Jax.
the
Please
laws of
don't
logic as
overtalk me.
description. Not even 10 minutes
Jax,
ago.
please don't overtalk me. Okay.
You literally
So,
just okay.
okay. So you said that I have to show, right? That
So you're
basically the
just gonna
laws of
ignore that other
logic.
point.
I'm addressing what you initially said. You said that I have to show that the laws of logic apply to everything. Yes.
If you wanted to make I think if you want to make a epistemically honest statement, that yeah, you would have to prove that everything applies to, like, the law of logic applies to everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not possible for the logic to not apply to something that is a
What do
thing
you
because how
define as
we under
possible?
hold on. Yeah,
Okay.
something possible is just something possible is just going to be like there's no logical contradiction in it.
Okay, so that's just circular in your definition. Of course, nothing that like is outside of like your laws of logic is gonna fit your definition of possible. Like, what the fuck?
No, that's how possibility is defined. What other way possibility is defined other than it with logic?
No. So what I'm saying is that this
How
is
can you coherently define something without laws of
yeah. I'm
logic?
saying that these things, right? Yeah, I'm not saying that language isn't dependent on it. I'm saying that the way that you're using the word possible is dishonest here, because what we would actually be
No, it's
talking
not.
about is a philosophical possibility, not some
What's a
sort of
philosophical
linguistic.
possibility?
A philosophical
Modal
okay.
modal
I didn't say
possibilities are
I didn't
philosophical.
say yeah. Okay. I know. But what I'm saying is we're using, like, what you just used is a different kind of possibility, right?
You never specified what possibility
Yeah,
you
I
were
was
asking me about.
Yeah. So when I say a possibility, I'm usually in reference to something that could be, right? And you're not going to get
Could
any sort of other,
wait.
yeah.
Could be under what scope? Like
Under
what
there
is
is no
the
scope.
method in
There is no scope. That's my
so you can
point.
just baselessly claim something could be the case.
Yes.
Look, I'm not trying to be a dick, but that's retarded.
That's
I'm gonna
fine.
I'm
You literally
operating.
agreed earlier on. Like, maybe you didn't hear me earlier. You still haven't addressed the point of where you agreed that logic is a description. It's describing something objective. That may be okay, right? If I say like the car is the car, right? That could be an objective statement, but you just already agreed that logic. You agreed in the statement that logic is the description, and then you agree that the description is mind dependent. And if it's mind
Okay,
dependent, then it's
hold
not
on, hold
objective.
on,
So you
hold on,
literally
hold on.
already
So when
lost.
you no, that's not. You're trying to like force a concession out of nothing. So when
No,
you say
you
the word
literally said
apple,
it.
hold on.
Okay, you're just gonna
When you
give
say
me
the
another
word
example of the law of identity.
shut up. So when you say
Did you
I
even
ate
listen to
an
my debate
apple,
with Jim? This is
hold on,
retarded.
bro, stop talking. Holy shit. So when you say I ate an apple, you're
Hmm.
not talking about you're eating the description of the thing being described. You're using the descriptor to convey the thing that exists inside of reality. So
So
that's completely
when you call
relevant. So when I
logic,
say the
so
laws
when
of
you call,
logic, you're referring to things that operate mind independently. So when you say
you
something
think
is
the laws of
itself,
logic are
you're
mind
describing
independent?
the things that the laws of logic refer to are mind independent, which is something being itself.
That wasn't the conversation. We're talking about whether or not whether or not like logic and the laws of logic are objective. You
Okay,
agree
this is
that it's
gonna
a
go back to
language.
what I
You agree
initially
that it's a
said. This is gonna
description.
go back.
No, 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 no,
This
no,
is
no.
gonna go
Can
back to
you?
what
I'm
I
just
initially
curious. I'm
said.
just curious. I'm gonna I'm
Hold
gonna lay out
on.
a syllogism for you. I'm gonna lay out a syllogism for you. Okay. Premise one. Okay. I'll write it out. Just poke a hole in it if you think that there's like a problem with it. Okay. I'm writing it out. It's gonna be in headquarters. Okay.
I already addressed this whole description shit with the apple analogy.
No, you didn't. But
I can explain how I address this. When you say I ate an apple, you're not saying that you're eating the semantic term that is used as a descriptor to describe the thing that is being described. You're saying that
no, but you
you're
agreed that
eating the
logic
thing.
is a
Oh, shut
description.
up,
That's what you
shut up,
said.
nigga. Look, I'm not trying to spur
Damn.
on you, Jack, but you're cutting me off every second, bro. Like,
Bro,
just
listen,
stop.
I'm not the one who, if
Holy
their
shit.
parents wake
You're
up, will
cutting
beat
me
the
off.
shit out of
You're
me.
cutting me off.
So
You're cutting me
you
off. You're
getting
cutting me
mad
off. Just be
doesn't make
quiet.
me
Just
lose
just
anything.
just have a cordial debate. Why do you have to cut me off? Are you scared of my arguments? Yes or no?
I'm terrified of your arguments. I'm
Okay,
shitting the
well, it
bed right
seems like
now.
that's the case considering you have to cut me off every fucking 5 seconds.
Brew. I'm really
Yeah,
getting
so
owned here.
anyways, when you say I ate an apple, you're not talking about the descriptor apple, right? The word that's used to convey the thing. You're talking about the thing through the descriptor. So when I say the laws of logic, I'm not talking about the descriptors, the words laws of logic. I'm talking about the thing that the laws of logic refer to.
Hold on. I'm not quite done.
Holy moly. I hope your syllogism isn't gonna just reiterate the point you attempted to convey. But
Okay, syllogism's posted in headquarters.
Yeah, I haven't done the conclusion yet. I'm still editing it.
oh my gosh.
Yo, Makima, they're saying that Gizit B is gonna be analyzing this debate.
There we go.
Sure.
That's
Funny.
it.
What's the syllogism?
You've agreed, yeah, okay, premise 1 is logic is a language, premise 2 is languages are descriptive, premise 3, descriptions require minds. All these 3 premises you have agreed to, by the way, on recording. We can just end the recording. I don't
Oh
think I
my
need it.
gosh,
And then
Jax, you're
premise
so
4, the
fucking
definition of
stupid.
objective is mind independent.
You're straw
Conclusion,
manning.
logic being something that requires a mind is subjective.
Oh my gosh. When you say the word apple, yes, apple is a word, but what is it doing? It's describing an apple, which is something that exists inside of reality.
No,
So
but
when I
I
say the
asked you
word
if logic is a
wait, shut
language.
up, dumbass, shut up.
Okay.
But when I say that I'm eating an apple, I'm not talking about I'm eating the word, the descriptor. I'm talking about the thing that's being described.
Have you
So when
tried
I
to
say the
draw this
I'm gonna
analogy
repeat
to
this, I'm gonna
have
repeat
you
this
tried to
again.
draw
So
this
when you say
analogy
the
to the
law,
conversation that we're having?
yes,
Okay.
yes, I already did. Like you're lost. Holy shit.
Okay. So is logic a language, yes or no?
In the sense that it conveys something, you can say that's the case.
Okay, well, we're talking about logic. I don't know what the fuck you mean by if it convey. I'm talking about logic, right? When you say the law of
Logic.
identity, the
We're
way
talking.
that you use logic, right? It's to prove. It is like logic is a methodology under which people like can feel that they can assert like or apply a truth value to a statement. So when I ask you, is it a language? This is a yes or no
I'm not.
question.
I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about that type of logic. I thought the debate was about
This
whether the
is
three laws of logic are objective.
Oh, if you want to debate that, I mean, we can go there because it will probably end up there. Yeah, no, you can't show. Do you believe that you can get epistemic, like, do you think that you can have epistemically certain statements about logic by using logic?
What do you mean epistemically? So basically, you're
So
saying
you're making the claim that the laws of logic are objective. You're making a claim about the laws of logic presupposing all of your laws of logic.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's so you just agreed that your premise is like your premise and your conclusion are the same. That's what you just said.
But that's not fallacious though, especially when you're
Wait,
talking about
what? You don't think infinite
axioms.
regression? You don't think? Wait, sorry. Infinite regressions are inherently fallacious, and so are axioms. The
Where's the
reason that they're
contradiction?
axioms, well, the contradiction is that you never have a starting point. What
It's
proves the laws
formally
of
valid.
logic? The laws of logic. Yeah, I don't care about
Formally
quote unquote
valid.
being formally valid. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't prove it. It
Do
doesn't
you,
prove
do you
anything.
wait? Hold on,
Do
hold
you
on. Do you
accept?
know?
Wait,
Do
wait,
you
hold
know?
on. When
Wait,
we're
hold
talking about
on, hold
broader
on.
metaphysical claims, do you accept circularity as a form of
Lightning
reasoning?
jacks, lightning jacks.
MK,
Do
I
you
win
know?
this
Do you
debate. Do you
know?
want to know why?
Lightning jacks, lightning jacks.
Because
Do
if
you
I
know?
win this debate, then I would say that I won this
Lightning
debate.
jacks.
So
You're just
therefore, I won this
yapping. So,
debate.
lightning jacks. Do you know
That's
what
an. But you
calling a
understand that
fallacy
that's
means?
now a what?
Lightning jacks. Do you know what calling a fallacy means?
Yeah, I'm saying that your argument doesn't prove anything because your argument, your presupposed, like the argument never gets proven. If you draw it
Your
out,
argument presupposes the laws of logic by calling out a fallacy. Because what is a fallacy? It's an error in logic.
yeah, I'm not saying that logic doesn't apply to some things. You're saying that it applies to everything. I can have the laws of logic apply to this
Okay.
conversation, but then
So
you're
what does
making
it
the
mean
claim
to
that
be
it
a
applies
thing?
to everything outside of it.
What does it mean to be a thing?
I, dude, that's
You
such a
don't know?
hard question.
You wait, is it? Is it really? So when you
Yeah, I think
say
you intuition
and
pump
when
really hard when you say
so
the word thing. I think everyone
yeah,
does.
so no, how we under so, yeah, so if
No,
you
we
denote
don't
the laws of
intuition pump
logic,
the word thing.
hold on,
Can you give me a
hold,
definition for thing
bro.
that
Oh
doesn't
my
apply to
gosh,
anything
bro,
else?
go and get a moderator.
Okay,
Go
yeah.
get a moderator.
So
This
you
makes
do
sense.
intuition pump the word thing. Okay.
You're just like straw manning me, taking answers when I didn't even answer, trying to straw man my position, cutting me off every
Okay.
sentence. Are you scared?
What
Are
was the
you that
position that I
scared?
said that you had, and then what was the position that you're like saying? Like what's the
You just
difference?
literally said that I intuition pump the word thing.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
and I
everyone
accepted
okay.
that.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So do you think that you can give me a accurate description of the word thing that applies to
Yeah.
nothing else? Okay.
Wait,
Give me a
why does it
description.
have to, why does it have to apply to nothing else? What it means to be a thing is to something be
Because if
itself.
something, okay, for something to be itself, why is that necessarily the case?
Because that's how language works. We establish meaning of words, and if
Okay,
you
and then
don't,
what
then
is
it
that?
starts hallucinating,
A
and
thing
then
isn't,
you
yeah,
can't
that's what I'm
even
saying, Sense. Like a
semantically
thing would be
convey.
an ambiguous term
Okay,
for any
I'm gonna lay
object.
out my argument. I'm just gonna lay out my argument,
I
right? So
understand. I
I'm just gonna
understand.
establish that the pragmatic limitations of semantics and linguistics. Basically, it's impossible to even talk about something truly illogical because it doesn't adhere to the law of identity. Like for example, if I
Yeah,
were to say
no,
the
I
word
agree. I'm
there,
saying that's a limitation, but just because
hold
it's
on.
no,
So
I agree with this
how can you coherently posit that it's possible to be the case if you can't even
because
semantically
we've seen
convey
it.
it coherently
Because we've
without
Would you
even
guys
seen
like
it.
to
contradicting
mod?
yourself?
Would
No,
you
I
guys like
don't
a
want to. I
moderator?
would not like a moderator.
You can't even
All right.
semantically convey that something is possible without
MK,
even
I'm gonna blow your
contradicting
fucking
yourself.
mind.
Go ahead.
Okay, do you know quantum fluctuations like really hardcore fuck with like basic laws of logic as well as quantum
Are you talking about
entanglement?
things like quantum superposition?
No, I'm not talking. I didn't say superposition. So superposition is one of the things. Superposition fucks with your law of excluded middle as well as fucking what's it called? Oh yeah,
Can
your
you
A
conceive
equals
a
A.
contradiction?
Huh?
Can you conceive a contradiction?
I don't have to be able to conceive it. It can be beyond the
Wait.
extent of my mind. I just have to know,
Okay,
like,
okay,
I just have to be
okay.
able to grapple with the abstract concept. Like, the problem is, MK, in my worldview, I don't need to be able to comprehend the entire world. You do, and I can show you things that your brain can't comprehend. Like, or I can show you things that, like, your brain, like, can on paper, you'll read it and you'll say, well, that's an incorrect statement, and then I'll say, okay, well, it exists in reality, and you can do that with quantum stuff.
Inconceivability isn't the only metric in which which we say something's impossible. We say if it's inconceivable and basically incoherent, it makes no
Okay,
sense.
yeah,
So if
so
you say,
something like
wait, hold
superposition
on,
would be an
lightning
example of that,
jacks. So
right?
if you say
The
lightning
idea
jacks,
of something
I
forming as a
wasn't done.
wave and
Lightning jacks, I
forming as a
wasn't done.
particle, or
Lightning jacks,
moving
I
as a
was not
particle
done.
and moving
I
as a
was not
wave,
done with my
that's
statement.
inconceivable.
Hold on,
That's the
lightning
same
jacks,
thing
I
as
wasn't done with my
imagine a
statement.
square circle.
Lightning jacks, I wasn't done with my statement. So
Okay.
when you say the word, it's possible that blue, blue, blah, blah, right, exists. You're not actually telling me anything. So when you're trying to posit that it
All
could be
you're
the case that
proving
there's
to me
some,
is that
hold
there
on,
are
hold on.
things. Okay.
Oh my gosh, bro, this nigga's so scared. It's not even funny. Like this nigga's so scared.
I am
Okay,
Jax, can
collecting
you
so
in my
like
when you
boots.
say,
wait for like
so
a
when you,
couple sentences or a few
Fine.
sentences?
I'm just gonna
okay, so
fucking
when,
fall asleep though. This is so
yeah, so
boring.
when you
Jin just
say,
brought
so
up
when you
the
say,
same arguments.
when you
I beat
say,
him on it.
when you say blue blue blah blah could exist, that didn't actually tell me anything. Same as if like you admit that there is semantic and linguistic limitations about even attempting to posit something that can't exist. Like for example, if you try to talk about true nothingness, right, the absence of anything, right, you're going to indirectly assign properties by attempting to describe this thing, right, and then it no
Unless you
longer
imply
retains the
nothingness
identity of
is
true nothingness. Right,
okay.
that's the same with
So
illogical things. When you try to
okay.
use a descriptor to
So
describe
MK.
something without an identity, you're assigning an identity to something that's supposed to be absent of it.
Yes, MK. I'm not saying that to our understanding it's worked for everything so far. I'm saying it's epistemically dishonest to apply it to everything when there are some
How?
things that like what do you mean how? Because I literally said that there are some things that are in reality that you can't conceive that I can tell you on paper.
I already
Like it's like
responded to that.
I'm saying it's literally logically impossible. It calls into question the basic laws of logic. It directly calls it into
You
question.
can't coherently call into question the laws of logic.
That's I don't know how to like I'm sorry. Maybe you didn't hear me. Acting as a particle and acting as a wave are contradictory things. You cannot
How
be like a
show that
what do you
they're
mean?
necessarily mutually exclusive.
No, I don't have to necessarily show that they're mutually
Okay,
exclusive.
then
That's
you
our
can't
current.
claim that they're mutually exclusive. You
I'm not
just said they're
making. You're
contradicting.
so
You,
dumb. I'm getting so.
bro, oh my
I'm trying
gosh,
not
you
to
that's
get
like
mad.
saying
So
something
this
something
fucking
can't be an
monkey goes and
orange.
tells me he's trying to talk to me about quantum mechanics. Okay, I'm just gonna fucking lecture you because you just don't know what you're talking about.
Tell
Okay,
me,
I don't need to
tell
call
me.
it indefinitely. All I need to do is call it into question because you're making the absolute claim that the laws of logic are 100%. I don't need to prove that these things are contradictory. I just need to call it into question. Why the fuck would I need like maybe you didn't
You can only
understand the
the only
position that you
way
took
you can
when
call
you
it into
took that the laws
the
of
only
logic
way
are
you can hold
objective.
on
That was the stance that you
the
took.
only
So
way you
all
can
I need to
actually
do is
call
show
it
you
into
something like,
question
well,
is if you show that there is
laws of
something
logic don't really
there's a
explain that, and
contradiction.
currently this is what it looks like. So that calls into question a law of logic. I can also explain to you with something like quantum entanglement. I can also explain
He's
with
shotgunning me.
things
This
moving
nigga's literally shotgunning me.
faster than the
This
speed
nigga's
of
literally
light.
shotgunning me. This nigga's literally
Okay.
shotgunning me. Let me ask you this,
Okay.
Jax. Does
Mhm.
a banana being yellow and like curved violet called in question the laws of logic, or do you have to show that those properties are mutually exclusive?
I mean, do you want me to get you an article that says why they would
No,
be? Do you
answer the
not believe?
fucking question. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you would have to show that those things are mutually exclusive, right?
Okay, so the fact that you couldn't show that
I
it
can
being
show it to you.
existing
Do
at
you
a
want an article about it?
you didn't. You didn't.
Wait, do you want me to send you? Okay, do you want me to? Sorry, I thought it was
Go
well
ahead.
known that. Okay, I thought it was well known that acting as a particle in a wave shouldn't be able to happen. Superposition.
If anything, the consensus literally of people who know about quantum mechanics says it doesn't violate the law of non-contradiction.
Huh? Oh no, it's not necessarily the law of non. It's the law of excluded middle that would be fucking with,
Oh,
and
I don't. Oh,
also,
My
they
bad.
would
My bad.
say.
Maybe this might be hedging, but I don't necessarily. I should have clarified. This is my bad. I don't necessarily hold to the law of excluding middle as I do the law of non-contradiction, law of identity.
But you
Maybe I
said
should
the
have
big
clarified
wait,
that.
but you said the three laws of logic literally
Yeah,
earlier on
I
this
know
rec
because
as
it's
was here.
let me just tell you this. It's a habit
Okay,
when I'm
so
talking about
you're
the
okay,
logic
so
that
he's
I
moving the
refer to.
goalpost. Just want everyone to hear that. Yeah, sure, that's fine. We
Well,
can talk about something. Do you believe that do you believe in like the
I
principle
didn't
of like
speak anything
causality?
to be wait, hold on, real quick. To be fair,
Mhm.
I didn't speak anything about the law of including middle. I've only brought up the law of identity so far.
Yeah,
So
that's
for me to
fine,
say
but you
that I'm
did
not
say
holding
the
to it.
three. But you did say the three laws of logic earlier, which would
Yeah,
imply the
I
law of
told you it's a
excluding nil,
habit
which
because
I've
it's a
called into
common
question.
term to refute to refer to those
It's fine. I still
axioms.
called it into question, and you referred
Hey,
to
I
you
don't
defending.
care.
I'm just saying that you defend it. You said that you were defending those three. And
Yeah,
anyways,
but I didn't.
everything
Yeah,
that you have explained to me, you still haven't actually proved them as objective yet. I don't even know why I'm
yes, I
bringing up a
have.
counter
Yes, I,
argument.
yes, I
No,
have.
okay. All you've done is you've shown that it applies to some things, or you can say that all
No,
things that
all
humans
things,
have
all
ever
things,
conceived ever. No,
all
no, no,
things.
no. Your argument, right, proves within a sample set, right? So in order to make a so there's two problems. Okay. The first claim that you're making, right, is you assert the laws of logic, right, into your conclusion about the laws of logic existing. Your claim does not exist without your conclusion doesn't exist without your claim. So I can now, if you think that that is an acceptable form of logic, right, I understand that there is no quote unquote formal fallacies and it doesn't break like your big three laws of logic, but it never proves your claim. So it's not logically inconsistent, but it would be dishonest to say that you could prove something based off of it because I can show you
You've
plenty
ignored
of.
my other arguments.
Wait, hold on. So I'm
You've
just
ignored my
asking you,
other arguments.
do you not agree with that argument? Do you not think that do you know that why that was dumb?
That's just irrelevant.
It's irrelevant that in order to argue for the laws of logic, you're using the laws of logic as your presupposition.
Yeah,
So
but
you're asserting wait, so you're asserting your
but you
claim into
presuppose
your
the law of
premise.
logic too, though.
For the purposes of this conversation, I mean, like to talk to
For the
you, sure.
purposes. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So it seems to be the case that it's okay to make a presupposition because even you presuppose them.
No, but I'm not presupposing something and then trying to prove that thing as like an objective thing that applies to everything. For the purposes of this conversation, I do need it to talk to you, right? I
I
need
mean,
it to observe the world around me, but I'm not
the
making
fact
any
that
sort
you
of claim
can't
about
even
the objective reality. Again, I've never made the claim that the laws of logic don't apply to anything. They do apply. They apply to plenty of things. But what you're making the claim out is they apply to everything. And what I'm saying is that
yeah,
I don't think there's a way to prove that. And what you're trying to do, right, is you're saying, okay, well, there's two ways of basically proving this, right? You think you can gain, epistemic truth from kind of two things, right? Either one, you would get it through some sort of empirical evidence, right? These are like the two ways you prove things. You get some sort of empirical evidence about something, right? You perceive it and it's like, yeah, that's the thing. The other way to do it is to get it through some kind of like reason or like ration, right?
okay.
So
I
if
understand,
so
Lightning
in
Jack. Can
order
I
to
just
prove it off
respond
of
now?
empiricism, you need to show everything. And in order to do it with ration, you need to
Not
presuppose your
true.
premise.
Not true. Not
Wait,
true.
so in
Hold
order
on.
to empirically prove that all things have the law of identity apply to them, empirically, you don't need to show all things. Do you not know what the word empirically
Oh my
means?
gosh, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. So if we define cannonballs to be this is gonna be an analogy to just point out how retarded what you're saying is. So
Okay.
basically, if we define cannonballs as being black and circular, right? We cannot say there are any cannonballs that are not black and circular because what it means to be a cannonball is to be black and circular. We can say the same thing about a thing. What it means to for a thing to be a thing is that it's something that we can point to reality and be like, that is itself. So when you make the claim that there could be something, right, that is still a thing that doesn't abide by the law of identity, the thing that allows it to be itself, right, then you can't make the claim that there could be something that is outside of that could still retain the identity of being a thing. Because then you're no longer talking about the thing and how we understand it.
Okay, so I'm gonna wait for you to either one prove everything exists or two explain to me how you can use like logic as your presupposition as your conclusion.
Proof everything exists. Do you agree that something exists?
Maybe I don't know. It's a vague question.
What, yo, are you fucking kidding me, Jax? Are you like, you have your head up your ass?
Well, we're talking about like really, really, really broad metaphysical questions. So
Is
no,
it
I don't
possible
think it
that
can be
you are not,
certain.
hold on. Is it possible that you're not experiencing reality right now?
In my worldview, yeah.
But if you have no definition of possibility and you think you can just arbitrarily claim that something is possible, then possibility
I'm
doesn't have a
saying when we're
meaning at that point.
I'm saying when we're speaking this broadly, that's what possibility means. Possibility is intuition pumped. Possibility is literally anything that could and could not. So like anything that you can conceive, anything that you can't conceive. For the like I like anything that like even that doesn't categorize. Like even things that are not things, which is contradictory in nature. Like again, like the problem is that when we're speaking this broadly and
Yeah, yeah. So
metaphysically,
like,
I
yeah,
don't have any
like,
presuppositions
like,
about anything. You
so
have a
like,
presupposition about logic. You questioning, hey, is this possible? I'm always going to say yes because I have no idea what is and isn't possible. Like it's like
are
I
you
can't
like
make an
an are you?
epistemically honest statement about it.
Oh my gosh, Lightning, actually killing me. So under your worldview, anything, there's just nothing impossible.
Maybe I don't know.
What? No, under your no, yes, it is. Under your worldview, nothing is impossible because contradictions can exist, incoherence could exist, and the reasons why they can't exist is because
Wait,
essentially you don't have
hold on. That
absolute
doesn't mean
knowledge.
that nothing. Wait, hold on. That doesn't mean that nothing is impossible. You could have something like incoherency or randomness or
Wait.
acausality
Like,
or
are you
these
talking
other
about
things
incoherency? Wait. So like
applying to
incoherencies to the
specific
power.
things.
Wait. So incoherencies to the power of five can exist, but like maybe not to the
What?
power of
You do
one.
not. I don't
Like
think you heard what
incoherencies are
I don't think you.
incoherencies,
I
Lightning
don't.
Jacks.
Yeah,
So if you bite the
I
bullet and say
know.
that an incoherency then exists via the principle of explosion, anything follows with falsehood.
Okay. So again, you still haven't. I don't even know I'm engaging with these. Do you have any way to? Do you agree? Okay. Just generally speaking, to gain a conclusion about a truth value, do you agree that there are two methodologies under which you can do that? Through empiricism and then through rationalism. Do you agree with that?
I'm sure.
Okay, so you agree with that. Just let that be known. The first way to do that with empiricism is you need to show the thing that you're saying, right? So if I want to make the statement, when I drop this pencil, it will fall, in order to empirically prove it, I need to drop the pencil and then see the conclusion, right? That is
Yeah.
how you empirically prove something.
Empirically,
Okay.
empirically, sure, but that's not the only form of
Sure. And then the
belief.
other, no, we'll talk about the other thing. The other way is right? Rationalism, right? In order to rationalize something, you need to, basically ration it. So you need to use logic. Okay, well, we're talking about the existence, about basic foundational laws of logic. And so for rationalism, you need to presuppose all of these things, meaning in your premise, your conclusion necessarily follows because your premise is your conclusion. So it never ends up proving anything, right? Because
There's nothing wrong with
assuming the
making the
premise,
wait. There's nothing wrong with making the presupposition if my
it
opponent,
is if
who's
it's
putting
the
those things
entire
into
thing in
question,
question.
also makes the presupposition.
Your
You're making the
no,
presupposition
I'm not
because you put it not.
no, I'm not no. What I'm presupposing is that the laws of logic will function for the purposes of this conversation. I am not saying that the laws of logic apply to everything, right? That's what
What
I'm
is
presupposing.
okay? So
Do you
meaning
understand the
okay.
difference for something like do you think that like this is my problem whenever I argue with people. You think that like so first of all, if we're debating about the laws of logic, right? The automatic presupposition of your argument, right? When you presuppose your conclusion, right? As like your premise, it doesn't follow. It doesn't matter if I presuppose it or not. It has nothing to do with me. You can say my worldview is contradictory or something. That's fine. That doesn't disprove that your claim of the laws of logic being objective are wrong. My worldview can be contradictory. I might not even exist and it doesn't matter. The problem with your worldview is that when like you're trying to make it this is what Apollo did. You're trying to make it dependent on like something that I say. My worldview has literally nothing to do with it. I'm saying within your worldview, you are presupposing something that is the conclusion, which is logically dishonest, even in your own
You're
worldview.
talking about
Unless
one
you
of
think that
my
I can now,
bro.
unless you think that I can now say,
Bro,
if I win this
holy
debate,
fuck,
I
lightning
would
jack,
say something along the lines of,
lightning
I win
jack.
this debate.
Lightning
Well, I
Jack,
just said I win this
you've been
debate, so
rambling.
therefore I win
Lightning
this
Jack.
debate.
Okay, look, I let you ramble for a while. Are you done speaking? Like, holy shit. Yeah, so
Okay.
you're attacking one of my points that I argued for like 2 seconds and just ignoring everything else I said. I
So wait,
explained what it
I
means to be
do
a
just
hold on,
really
hold
quick.
on.
I do want you to say
Let you
right now though
hold
that
on,
wait. I just want you to agree.
shut
I just want
up,
you to agree with one thing.
let
Just
you
make sure.
speak.
Do you
let you
agree with my
speak.
empiricism
Shut
point?
up.
Do you agree with my
Shut
empiricism
up.
point that you
Shut
can't improve it
Shut
empirically?
up. Shut up.
Do you
Someone
agree that
mute
you can't prove it
you.
empirically?
Shut up. Shut
I just
up.
need to
I
know.
literally let you mute. I don't give a fuck what your question says if you're not even giving me the courtesy to fucking speak. I don't care. I let you speak. I let you ramble, right? Attack a point that I argued for 2 seconds, right? I don't give a fuck. Okay,
Okay.
anyways, I'm
I
going to
don't think he gives
repeat
a
the
fuck, guys.
argument that you need to attack. If we
Okay.
have an understanding of a cannonball, and what it means to be a cannonball is to be circular in black, you can make the claim, based off of how we define cannonballs, that there is nothing that um, basically doesn't have the attributes that we ascribe to it that can be called a cannonball. Because how we understand a cannonball is to have those attributes. And if you're saying that you could have a cannonball that doesn't have those attributes, then we're no longer talking about the same thing. So when you're talking about a thing, right? You're talking about something being itself, something that we can point to in reality. You're trying to posit something that we can't point to reality. You're trying to describe something that can't be described. You're trying to use a word in a different way that we don't understand it to be. How we understand a thing is for it to be itself, is for us to point to it in reality. We
This
can't
doesn't
point to any of the things that you're talking about in reality. So it
this
cannot
doesn't
be
attack
thing.
my point.
It is analytically the case that there is
This is
nothing
MK.
that is
MK.
illogical and a thing simultaneously. So I am justified in saying that there only can be a thing because how we understand a thing is we can understand it. It's not illogical. So it's
MK.
definitionally the case. It's analytically the
So
case
MK.
that you're wrong.
So MK. You understand that I called into question your ability to ration things, right? And then you just went on for like 5 minutes rationing
But
something.
you have to presuppose your own rationale to even put mine into question.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I already addressed this. I'm not saying that my worldview has to be consistent because I'm not necessarily arguing for a worldview. You are arguing that the laws of logic are objective, and what I'm saying is that your argument doesn't prove it.
Wait, no, you don't think the laws of logic are objective. You're also making an argument that it's not the case
I'm
that
calling.
objective
I'm
because
I, no. I'm no. I'm a skeptic towards the position.
no. You said that by virtue of me not being able to
You
point
can't
to everything.
hold. You can't
Hold on.
hold. Okay.
Honestly, we can end the
Okay. Wait.
debate
Wait.
right here.
Yeah.
We can
Sure. We
end
can
the
end.
debate
Yeah.
right
Sure.
here.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
you
I would
lost.
love
I
to.
think you
Yeah. That's
lost.
fine.
I think you
Everyone
lost.
thinks, dude. Your point. Like you literally were just like, yeah, my thing can be circular, guys. Let's see if I can just
Oh, yeah,
walk past
keep
that.
talking
Like,
about that
dog, Jin
one
tried to
percent
do
of
the
the debate.
same
Keep
thing.
talking about
You
one
proving
percent of
that
the
some
debate.
things
Keep
apply to the
talking about
laws of
one
logic
percent
does
of the
not
debate
assert that
lately,
everything
Jack.
applies to logic. That's the first thing. So anytime you give me an example, you need to show that that example would apply to everything, which you would not be able to do. That's how it would be the empiricist thing. And then if you want to
I
ration it,
already showed
you would
that it
then need to
applies to
explain
everything.
why we would presuppose the laws of logic in a conversation calling into question the laws of logic. And then you just
I
said,
already
well, I
explained
can't
why it
really have a
applies to
conversation without it. And it's like,
everything.
yeah, that's fine. That doesn't mean that they have to
I
exist.
already
That just means that you
explained
can't do this thing
why it
without it existing. That
applies
doesn't,
to
like, again,
everything.
it's just
I
dumb.
already explained why it applies to everything that
You
is a
favor
thing. You
Makima here,
dumb
Tensa?
fuck.
I don't know. You might be
You
retarded.
dumb fuck.
Well, you can think that, but your objection to his argument just seems extremely baseless, and then we have a
What
lot of like.
objection? Wait, what objection is baseless, Tensa?
Okay,
I'll
so
debate you on this right now.
just asking the question, why are they objective? But then granting the idea that a lot of things that we see, we do know that it applies to them.
Yeah,
Seeing
sure.
some so you claiming
Do you
that
think
there's
that you
some
can get
outlier to
epistemic
this,
certainty with the? Do you think? Wait, hold on. Wait,
saying. Wait,
Tensa. I have a
I'm not done
question.
with my
'Cause, okay,
statement yet.
yeah, no. But I have a
Okay,
question
yeah,
because this
I
is
don't care. Just keep your
this is
question
a
to
premise
yourself
to
until
your
I'm done
statement, so
speaking.
it does matter. Because I don't want to listen to you fucking ramble about some
Well,
other
I
shit.
make the
So what
premises
you're
for my
telling me
argument. If you want
is
to
that
make yours, then wait till I'm done
is that
speaking.
induction is a good way to gain
What the
epistemic
fuck?
certainty. That's a bizarre claim.
Okay,
You can
doesn't
say
have
it's
to be certain,
epistemic. You
but
can say it's
if
probable.
it's
Oh wait, so
probable, if it's
so we're
probable
making
enough,
things off of probabilities.
if it's probable, Jax, if it's probable enough, then we consider it certain.
Jax has left the
That's how
VC.
things work.
Jax has left the VC.
Okay, there we go.
Rude.
So I'm back to
Jax, since you left, I'll just repeat what I said.
yeah, I don't
I
care
said
about
that if
I don't care
the
about
way,
probability. We're entailing objectivity. We're talking about a thing that has to be objective.
yes,
There
and
can't be any question about it. So if
wait.
your
I
thing is
think
based,
if you
do
let
you
me
think
speak, you'll understand what I'm saying.
no? Because it's retarded.
No, well, that's just being in bad faith. But what I'm saying is that if something is probable enough, then people consider it objective. That's how humans are programmed. If it is,
Okay,
if
I
there's
don't
like
care.
a
This is just dumb. This is
well,
just
you
wrong.
can,
No.
yeah, you can think that, but that just means that we have a good basis for
The
believing
problem
that the
of
laws of logic
induction.
are objective.
No, you can have a good basis for believing that they function. You can't have a good basis for believing that they are objective to everything. No, you literally agree, unless you think that the problem of induction just doesn't exist because you don't want it to. When you're making broad claims, metaphysical claims about how the universe functions, I think it is extremely irresponsible to be like, oh well, it's good enough.
Why?
No, we're not
why
making this
bringing up
statement.
the problem of induction?
Because what you just said is to basically assert your first law of logic or any of the laws of logic that
Okay,
you need
well,
to. That it's based off of
Jax,
examples, and
do
you
you-
can give
do
as
you
many
think you're
examples as
speaking
you
to me?
want. Yeah, probably.
Okay, there we go. So we grant probability. So like, what's
That's
the
fine. I'm
contention
not
about?
saying.
What's the
Wait, hold on,
contention
hold
about
on.
induction?
Wait, what the fuck? That's retarded. I'm not saying I'm not saying I don't accept probability. I think probably the laws of logic exist. That's fine. That was not the claim
It's
that's
not
being
about their
made.
existence, though.
That's
Yeah,
literally
it's not
what the
about
debate
their
was on. How
existence. The
lost are
point.
you?
No, the point is not if the laws of logic exist. The point that you guys argued over, what I'm favoring
Is whether or
Makima,
not
is
they're
whether the laws of
objective.
yeah, if they apply to everything,
Wait,
and you guys
so
built
then
a consistency
so then
slash
your
basis,
first
they
so
apply to
then
most things, and you're trying to find these outliers.
yeah, you can make the
but
statement that they are
that is what's in
probably apply to
question.
Tensa. You can make the statement that they probably apply to everything. He's saying that they do apply to everything, and what I'm saying is that he cannot provide to me an argument that does that. Do you understand the difference between those two things, or is proving a probability the same thing as proving that something definitely exists?
No, you're just okay. So we have a well thought out argument, which is granted in some instances by your own words, not the conclusion of it, but the premises. And then you ask the question why. So he has a strong argument, and you're just asking why. Which argument would you favor in that case?
I'm sorry. So first of all, I'm taking a skeptic position, so I'm not necessarily making an argument. The second thing is, again, you didn't really address what I said to you. Like what you just told me is that we think things are objective based off of induction. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, we function as if they're true, but we don't function as if they are absolute. That's why a lot of theories are still theories and not like objective things. Even though all of our math works, all the logic kicks out, we can't prove it necessarily. Yes, a lot of mathematical and a lot of physics theories. No, literally some of the smartest people in the common agree with me. No, I am 100%. Hunter agrees with me. Demi agrees with me. Plenty of people agree with me on this.
I don't really mind who agrees with you. They view things differently from I do, and you're only talking to me. I don't care for vouchers.
Well, I was talking mostly to MK because MK was like, I wish you knew how retarded you sound. It's like, okay, well, you can tell that to Demi because Demi holds the same position for the same reason. So if you think Demi's retarded, that's fine.
I discussed the same thing with Demi, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not talking. Okay, that's fine.
So Jax, just like answer this. So you don't think that we would consider things objective because there's a slight possibility of them being wrong, even if we have a really good basis to believe that they're objective?
Congrats. Yeah. No,
okay.
I don't
do you think objectivity is impossible?
From like currently, yeah, I don't think you can prove that anything is subjective. Like currently,
I'm not asking about proving things. I'm not trying to draw a line between what's presented in the debate and what actually exists.
Wait, what? Are you asking like do objective things exist?
Okay, do you exist, Jax? Do you think you exist?
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay. Do you think that you probably exist, or are you certain in the fact that you are experiencing something?
I think that I probably exist.
To deny awareness is to have awareness, which would lead to a contradiction otherwise.
Yeah, that's fine, but again, we're talking. This goes back to the same thing.
Okay, so objective things exist.
I understand.
Okay.
No, Tensa.
You just granted it.
Okay, I don't.
Wait, Lightning Jax.
Just because you cannot conceive it does not mean that it's not possible. This is what I'm saying again.
No.
In order to question, again, we're talking about the objectivity of the laws of logic. In order to even in order for you to make your argument, you need to presuppose it. So when you start saying, "Oh, well, gotcha," right? It's not really a gotcha. I'm saying that you cannot prove these things objectively with the laws of logic. Just because I cannot conceive it does not mean that it can't exist.
The laws of logic don't prove that you have awareness. What they prove is that if it leads to a contradiction, then it's not true.
You can have it like near infinitely probable, right? That it's the case. What I'm saying is you can't prove that it is objective. That's the problem.
Lightning Jax.
So all your wait, Makima. Wait.
Does he have me local muted or what?
No, I'm just
I
not
think he's
listening
just
to you
ignoring you.
because I
Okay,
was gonna say I just
can I ask one question? Can I ask one
why
question?
tense is way more interesting on this topic.
Well, sure. You can engage with him after. I'm so curious. Just please entertain me for 1 second.
Okay.
So, Lightning Jacks, if you didn't exist, could you be deceived about existing?
I have no idea.
So
We're going into like some weird Cartesian shit, bro. I don't know.
wait, but you would say to be deceived, you would have to exist.
Again, bro, that's like the whole point of like I don't know. Maybe
You don't know, or you're just running
that
away by the
that
I
could
don't
be
know. Why
no,
don't
what?
you know?
No, I'm.
What makes sense to you?
What do you mean? It's like we're talking, bro. We're making such broad metaphysical claims about the universe. I don't think we can responsibly make it because any sort
How is
of
my
any
claim? How is my question like making a claim? I asked you a
because your
question about
question
what you
because
think.
any question that you propose, right, is going to be a question that presupposes what your question is trying to prove, meaning that in every single time that you question my stance, right, questions aren't claims. No, but they have claims loaded into them. God, you're retarded.
Yeah.
Anytime you
So if
question something regarding the laws of logic, you're saying like that was just dumb. Questions absolutely are claims. What are you talking
oh
about?
my God, Lightning
Questions.
Jack,
I'm literally
it's
saying
so
in this
funny
question
because
there is a
like
claim.
Wait,
I
What?
one
honestly,
sec. But wait, Jax. If you said that you don't want to make an argument, that means that you don't have claims to your position. But you
We're getting
asking the
too
question
meta.
why
Tense to
does make
stop. Tense to
commitments.
stop. Tense to stop. I'm high and it's
No,
late
you're
at night.
just
You're making my brain hurt.
Jax. I'm just pointing out the contradictory things that you're doing.
Wait, what
If you
I do?
don't do them, then yeah, like you're saying that claims, questions have embedded claims, and you're saying that you're not making claims slash arguments against Makima. You're just asking why. But the question why, according to your claims, does
Yeah, sure.
make other
Again, wait.
claims.
So Tensa. Again, I'm saying for the purpose of this conversation, I assert things like the law of identity. I'm saying that they can apply to some things. It doesn't necessarily mean they apply to everything. That's fine. That's all I'm saying. They can apply to everything that we've perceived. That's fine. Doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that you cannot make a statement, honestly, that they apply to everything. You can say that they probably apply to everything. You can't say they apply to everything for the reasons that I've already
no
outlined.
fucking way. This
Well,
fucking
what do you
clown.
wait,
Oh my
Jax? What do you
God.
think? Okay, so say like fucking solipsism is false because
Say
I think
what?
that's kind of the. Okay, actually, just forget about that. But I think you're trying towards like a different theory here. But okay, so if there's something that exists outside of our minds, do we think that it is something? If we were to know that it exists,
I have no idea. Maybe.
you
Bro,
wouldn't call. You wouldn't
Tensa,
identify. Okay, so wait. The thing is,
Tensa.
the word term. I mean, the word thing just is a term that we use to describe something vaguely. And
Yeah, sure. An ambiguous object.
yeah. And the precondition for something to be a thing is to exist, for it to be enabled to have properties, no?
Yeah, sure.
And the thing that exists would be a thing that exists.
Yeah, within
Therefore,
the
it
laws of
has a
law.
set
Yeah,
identity.
within the laws of logic are true. Yeah, that's fine.
That's not what I was trying to point out.
No, but what I'm saying is that again,
okay,
using
well,
this argument, you are using the
Bro,
law
he was
again. It
pointing
runs
out the
into the exact
precondition of
same
how you
problem
define the word
because the
thing, you
problem is
fucking dope.
no.
Like,
wait,
oh my
Jax, but
God.
then,
I'm
wait,
just gonna
Jax, but
local
in
mute
that
MK
case,
because he literally is just he has no idea where we are in this conversation.
Really,
It
The
wasn't
dude who
it
says
wasn't
that
about that. It was
doesn't
about
know
fucking.
if he can
It
be
was
deceived.
literally
He doesn't need
no.
to exist to be
MK,
deceived.
no.
This nigga's retarded.
Okay, so
This
Tetsu.
nigga doesn't even know if he has to
yeah.
exist for him to be
The thing
deceived.
that I'm
This
trying to
nigga's
say
head up
is
his
that,
ass.
and I don't know how you can disagree with this. In order to ration something, you need to presuppose the laws of logic. I understand that functionally I do for day-to-day tasks. What I'm saying is that there could be something out there that doesn't have these things apply to it, that are like beyond my comprehension, beyond
What do
the
you,
descriptions that I use of, because again, I think logic is a description in a language. Logic has problems. Um, the like again like you can have I think is it math that has this that it's a system that
the
there are things
incompleteness
that
theorem, yeah.
it like there are things that like it in theory accounts for but you can never prove it like there's like a whole bunch of things where it's like I think it's like kind of irresponsible to make a statement about like well we can say that these things are absolutely 100% objective, not just for regular conversation, right? If I say like like let's say we're talking about politics, I'm like you agree with the law of identity, you would always say yes, right? Or you would say like do you, or I might ask you even something even more like casual, like do you think like the law of identity is true? And you'd probably say yes, right? But when we're talking about something like the nature of the universe, right? If we were just talking about like extremely high levels of probability, then I wouldn't have taken it, because I do think that it's extremely probable that all of the laws of logic are objective, because there is nothing that we have seen that contradicts this idea. But what I'm saying is that, well, knowing what I have, it seems within my framework, right? There are two ways for me to prove something, right? And one is through empiricism and the other is through ration, right? And through ration, right, well, I'm trying to prove that I can ration something. So I would kind of need something outside of ration to ration it, but I can't do that because ration is the only thing that you can use to ration. So I can't use ration. And then the only other way for me to do it would be to empirically prove it, and I can't do that either. So again, I can say it's highly probable, but I can't say it's definite. And any question you're going to ask me is going to fall into the latter problem. Or any thought experiment you're gonna ask me.
I understand that you may think that it is problematic, but I mean, so there's two things that you mentioned. So first is, we should draw a line between vicious and virtuous circularity. If something is circular,
automatically, I don't care. Okay, you win this debate. I don't care. It's the same thing to me. I don't care.
Fucking mind.
I was gonna because
it's really not. It's just one.
No, because vicious circular. Yeah, I know. One is like more convenient.
One acts as a foundation.
The argument. Yeah, I know.
No, that's not the point. That's not the point.
Yes, when you say one acts as a foundation, no, because I've heard this argument before. Mr. Batman tries to do it to prove God. It's so dumb. It still runs into the same problem.
Yeah, his argument is,
whether you call it epistemically circular, viciously circular, or fucking come in my mouth circular, like it literally doesn't matter. They're all circular. They all run into the same problem.
The point is,
get a proof of your claim. I understand that it has utility, but I don't think that utility is a good reason for making
a foundation is undeniable. That's the point.
Definite state of the universe.
You can't provide a good argument against the foundation. That's the point. That's what sets them apart. I can put up a good argument against why my car me stating that my car is black leads to the conclusion that my car is black. You can make a good argument against that. But you can't make a good argument against A equals A when A could be substituted for any existent thing.
Wait, so Tensa, again, you're saying that, well, I just presuppose my argument to be true for the debate. That's like me saying, like, I enter a debate with, yes, it is, because we're right now debating about the laws of logic, and you literally just said, well, I presuppose it because it's my foundation. Well, your foundation is also what we're questioning, so it's also your conclusion. Do you understand the problem with that? Because it's not just your foundation, it's also...
Is it because I also use them in a functional sense, like you said?
Because we're having a conversation about whether or not the laws of logic are objective. You presuppose that they are objective in order to come to the conclusion that they are. So yeah, it may be your foundation, but it's also your conclusion. Literally, any question that you ask me is trying to prove some sort of logical contradiction with my argument, and it's going to and every single time that you ask me something, you're just going to say, well, anything that you can conceive is like, it's going to have these like properties applied to it, which would be like the laws of logic.
Yeah, so
and it doesn't attack. Again, this doesn't attack my main problem of using something. No, I don't care about vicious circularity because it runs into the same problem that circularity runs into. That's why it's called circular. Again, you're saying, well, I can't attack the foundation. Well,
circular just means premises and conclusions rely on each other. That's all it means.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying, I'm saying that that's problematic. In your worldview, it's problematic.
What's problematic about something being self-evident if we can provide a sufficient basis against it?
Hold on. No, it's not being self-evident. Your conclusion is your premise. Something being self-evident is just like,
it's not exclusive with it being self-evident. Like, what's your objection to A equals A? How do you refute that without presupposing the same idea?
Well, no, again, that's the problem. I'm saying that, like, just because, you actually can't engage with the point. What I'm saying is that any sort of, like, I'm sorry, do you actually have
the reason I'm not really trying to entertain the question why, Jackson, the reason I'm not trying to entertain the question why is because if you're not going to provide any form of counter evidence to the induction and etc. that I've listed out to you in the contradictions in your argument,
you know that the problem of induction exists.
You should not.
So you know that the problem of induction exists.
The problem of induction means nothing. It's just fucking stupid.
That's
literally
fine.
Not even a defeater to the argument. Bringing up the problem of induction.
I'm sorry, the problem of induction literally doesn't prove, like, that is like a pretty well accepted thing, that the problem of induction does not necessarily prove things to be definite. Like, sorry, that's like a pretty well agreed upon thing.
I know, but the point is, you listed out some ideas to me, but then you act contradictory to those ideas.
So that matters.
That's the point.
That's one of the and something inductively being true means it's objectively true, being like one of the foundations of your claim. If you agree that the problem of induction exists, then you agree that you can't use induction to make objective statements, which means that one of your ways of arguing for the laws of logic is fucking moot. And then the other problem is you mentioned that vicious circularity is a problem. Well, the problem is with vicious circularity and normal circularity, they run into the same problem. Just because one is a foundation doesn't mean it proves anything more or less. The problem is like, yeah, it's the foundation for it.
Let
That's
me paint an analogy for you. Because I don't think you get what I'm trying to say with the induction thing. Okay, so I'm not trying to say that induction makes something necessarily true, because that's obviously false. There's a possibility of future contingencies and etc. But what I'm trying to tell you is,
ever use induction to assert a law of logic.
Yeah, look. This is why. So when we are talking about premise to conclusion, you're going to make the inference, right? And the premise, just think of it like this: premise is the first floor, conclusion is the second. The more justification and inference you get, the more the more of a staircase you can add. And at one point, you don't have to completely build the staircase, but if it's like long enough, or if it goes high enough, then you are able to make a leap in beliefs, and just assume it to be the case, because you have sufficient justification.
So I do agree with that, but one, right, that doesn't mean that it's objective. That just means that we like use it as though it is objective. That doesn't mean it's the actuality of the thing. Just because we assert it as, well, it functions for us to say that that's the case. You still never get past the problem that's not objectively the case.
That's just an empty argument.
It's not an empty argument. You just don't have an argument against it. You don't have an argument against the rational thing, you don't have an argument against the
it would be an empty argument, because it doesn't have a substance behind it. It's just a more elaborate form of asking the question why.
No, you literally no. I'm not asking the question why. What the fuck? What I just told you.
Yeah, that's what you are doing when you're asking why is it the case that this leads to that?
And then you're just saying, oh well, we function as though it exists, therefore it does exist. Like, your claims are like, you literally just made two contradictory claims. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think you're just strawmanning what I'm saying.
No, you literally just said, or the problem of induction is a problem, and then you tried to apply induction as everything.
I just said that I don't agree with it. I agree that there is a problem, except the problem just doesn't mean anything. Like, yes, induction shouldn't justify induction, but at the same time, it is way too intuitive for us to discard that idea.
No, I agree. It works for a lot of things. It works for most things. I would even be okay with you saying that it probably works for everything. But you can't prove that it does.
So the point is,
I'm saying you can't.
Jack, this is the point. This is the point. If every person on Earth has observed a bird, then it does make sense for us to make the claims that birds exist. There is a really slight possibility of birds not existing, but we do have a sufficient basis, a coherent story from every single person on Earth that would make it the case that it's more rational to believe that it's objective than just agreeing that the counter possibility that is really slight would somehow fuck this idea over. The point is, Jax, this is the point.
I understand your point. What I'm saying is,
I don't think you do. The induction stuff is making me think otherwise.
Then you run into another problem, and I would disagree with that statement. If you want to say that we can function as though that statement, again, like, you're not getting anywhere.
Jax, you're treating the induction thing and the statement itself as if they are the same. I'm saying that the induction gives you a basis to believe the statement on its own.
Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't make the statement necessarily true or correlate with reality. I'm not arguing that doesn't give you a reason to believe it. Asking for
necessity in a situation like that is just you saying that there's a slight possibility, therefore I don't agree.
Yeah, that's the point, right? So there is a slight possibility of it not being the case, therefore it's not objective. I'm glad we agree with that. It can function that way.
I'm just saying that position itself. Oh, I'm just saying that position in itself.
Circularity, bro. That's a Mr. Batman argument. Okay. I'm not exactly impressed.
Jax, here. I'm just saying that you making that claim and acting in such a way just means that you're basically just a skeptic of everything, because you don't even agree with the foundations. You don't believe that anything is objective. Okay, then I was right.
Of everything. Yeah, I am a skeptic of everything. Yeah, that's the.
You affirm the idea that you exist. You affirm the idea that you're speaking to me, and you affirm the idea that you're making counter arguments.
Functionally, yes.
So you're just falling into performative contradictions.
Yeah, functionally, yeah. I function.
Doesn't change anything. Then but then you just affirm the same and functionally this and that. You still believe something.
Functioning some way does not mean it necessarily correlates with reality. This is retarded. I already addressed this. Can we just move on, or do you not have any other arguments?
You stated something. That's different. If you state something but claim that you're a skeptic to everything, then you just have a performative contradiction.
Tensa. I perform as though they exist. Yes.
Okay. So you
That
don't
doesn't
believe in
mean
anything.
that they
You don't believe in
necessarily
anything you
correlate
claim in
with
this
reality.
debate. You don't believe in anything you claim in this debate.
I do believe it.
Okay, so you're not skeptical of everything as you claimed.
No, I do. No, I'm skeptical of my belief necessarily correlating with reality. I believe it, but I'm skeptical of it necessarily existing in the way that I think it does.
But you agree with your beliefs if you consider them probable.
I don't
but
necessarily
the-
agree with my beliefs. I am still inherently skeptic towards it.
You're skeptic towards the idea of them being necessarily true, right?
Yes.
But you believe your beliefs as long as they are probable. But you don't believe Makima's belief that the laws of logic are objective because he presented X level of probability to it.
No, I
So
believe
you're
them
just
because I
pulling
choose
a
to
double
believe them.
standard.
No, I'm not pulling a double standard. I function as though I believe in them, but I don't make claims about absolutely them correlating with reality. There's a difference. If MK wanted to say they
I
function
think you're
this
just
way,
misunderstanding me. We
no, I'm not
we can stop engaging here. I
That's
don't
fine.
think you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know. You brought up the fucking viciously circular argument. You can't actually you literally don't have God, dude. I get so fucking disappointed. Whenever I hear
Don't think too much about it. It's whatever.
stuff.